Welcome to the Lawyer Cliff Podcast. This podcast is separate from my role as an attorney. However, it is my job to educate, entertain, and teach, and to put in context for you, lawyers and judges and everybody committing crimes, defendants, while they're in court. It happens. So let's take a look at the videos.
Our cause case, People versus Corey Harris.
Assistant Public Defender Natalie Tate for Mr. Harris, who should be present.
Mr. Harris, are you driving?
If you like this video or you found it entertaining, go ahead and click the like button so we can get more viewers just like you. Are you driving, Mr. Harris?
Actually, I'm pulling into my doctor's office, actually. So just give me 1 second. I'm parking right now.
He better be driving his pregnant wife to the hospital.
You stationary?
Pulling in right now at this second. Yes, I am.
All right. What are we doing?
Your Honor, we are respectfully requesting an adjournment in this matter, up possibly 2 to 4 weeks that the court would allow.
Okay.
His defense attorney, I believe.
Maybe I don't understand something. This is a driving while license suspended?
That is correct, Your Honor.
And he...
How is she keeping a straight face? You know, I've been in situations like this in court, and I've been right in this position, and it's scary. Inside, you're just like, oh no, what is happening? And then on the outside, you have to like present as a representative for your client, even though you know they're making a terrible decision.
He was just driving, and he didn't have a license.
That is what the charge is, Your Honor, yes.
No, I'm looking at his record. He doesn't have a license. He's suspended, and he's just driving.
That is correct, Your Honor.
I don't even know what you say. I don't know if you think that's correct, Your Honor. I don't know if that's what you say. Yeah, I think that's kind of a rhetorical. I don't think he's asking for to second the motion there. I think the judge at this point has decided that he needs to do something, take some kind of an action for the record, put in his notes that we had a little bit of a situation.
Hello?
1 minute, Mr. Harris.
I don't even know why he would do that. The defendant's bond is revoked in this matter, and it is to turn himself into the Washington County Jail by 6 p.m. today. Failure to turn himself in will result in a bench warrant with no bond. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Harris, I'll be giving you a call.
Okay.
Yeah, the judge in this situation is bound to take action of some sort. And when you have such a clear violation, is it a lapse in common sense to drive while you are currently have a case pending for something that it's violated, that's revoked your license? Yeah, it's tough. So the consequence for this is being blasted over the internet everywhere, having everybody see that you are so lacking in common sense. And that happens. Everybody's been there. Everybody's accidentally brought something they weren't supposed to bring, and they're like, oh, how did I do that? This is just the same situation. I'm sure he didn't think that he was going to be getting away with driving with a suspended license. I just think he just totally lapsed in his brain. I know you've done that. You've been there. I've been there. Yeah. And I don't know if this was I don't know if he's in trouble for a suspended license. He might be in trouble for something else that caused his license to be suspended. I'm guessing that's what happened, because it would be even worse if he was literally in trouble for a suspended license. And the judge might have said something. Yeah, my guy, I feel for you. Now you're in the national news, and it's not the place to be. But, I think what will happen for this guy is he'll go to jail. He'll spend some, however long it takes for him to get the next hearing. And I'm sure the judge will give him a second chance, because I think that he's probably learned his lesson at this point. But I'm not the judge. We'll just have to see.
Mr. Ponton, I believe you have a filter turned on in the video settings. You might want to take
we're trying to, can you hear me, Judge?
I can hear you. I think it's a filter.
It is, and I don't know how to remove it. I've got my assistant here. She's trying to, but I'm prepared to go forward with it. I'm here live. I'm not a cat.
Okay, that wasn't a crime, but it probably should be. Now, here's a scary situation where a lawyer is concerned with her, I believe, her client having had a domestic violence protection order put against a partner while she is in court dealing with that order. This transpires.
Your Honor, I have reason to believe that the defendant is in the same apartment as the complaining witness right now, and I'm extremely scared for her safety. And the fact that she's looking off to the side and he's moving around, I want some confirmation that she is safe before we continue.
All right, what are you on, a laptop or a phone?
Me?
Yes.
Phone.
All right, I want you to walk out to the front of the house, show me the house number on the house.
Why? I don't even think this phone has the charge for that, sir. I'm at 2% right now. I'm hooked up to this wall charger right here.
Your Honor.
And that's the judge's concern. Is he trying to influence? Is he influencing her? But the defendant, has a no contact situation with this client. How did the lawyer know that the defendant was in the same room? Maybe there's some context as far as the house. Maybe it looked too similar. Maybe she could just get a vibe from her client. Maybe some kind of instincts kicked in. I'm not exactly sure how this attorney knew. Thank goodness she did. And then the cops came, and this could have been a much worse situation, leading to additional crimes. In this scenario, the judge would proceed with a violation of the no contact order, which has consequences. And then the prosecution could add additional charges for violation of the no contact order. And I think that would be the process, is the prosecution would present additional charges, and then the judge would, well, in this case, immediately find or immediately know that the defendant was guilty because it's on video during court. It probably doesn't happen. I mean, this is a pretty unusual situation, but I'm sure this does happen. Right. You're not going to know most of the time that this happens because it's hard to pick up on these things. And, they're not going to come out and say that their partner, who is not supposed to be there, is there. But you're correct that a lot of times in these situations, it can happen. Sometimes it's both of them want to be together, and the judge is trying to keep them apart, especially in family relationships. Children are involved, that kind of thing. Sometimes the reconciliation happens, and you have to remain, abiding by the judge's orders, even if that means no contact.
Watch again as Webb literally spit on the judge.
Look at her reaction. Look at that face. That is a shocked face. Yeah, this is a thumbnail pic here. Yeah, we'll screenshot. Yeah.
But this incident is far from the last time Bass Webb will...
She said, charge him. She didn't say arrest him. I don't know. Maybe they do say charge when they're like, I want to say like booked, charged, arrest. I think she was just completely shocked.
In the face of the law, while waiting to go to...
Spit in the face of the law. What would you do in this situation? Would you retaliate? You're going to be the judge. He just spit on you. How does that affect your decision? Not much the judge can do. She just has to wait, and he'll come back around and with one of those spit masks on, and she'll do her job, and there will be additional charges. Okay. Now we're going to go into 3 videos. All include smoking some kind of substance. Let's check out this courtroom video. This courtroom is packed, but let's get into it.
The view through the courthouse security camera seems pretty typical. The judge, lawyers, defendants, everyone conducting standard court business. Until a deputy approaches a man slumped over at the end of the second row. He's unresponsive and can't be revived. Apparently, he's overdosed right there in the gallery. As court proceedings continue, seconds later, the man is revived. Officers help him to his feet, and he's escorted out of the courtroom, where he refuses further medical treatment and leaves.
I don't even think this is what we're looking for.
The near-fatal overdose was shocking enough, but...
The closeness of the clerk and the judge is wild to me. Like, why are you guys so close? Yep, down here in the bottom left. They're right next to each other. Yeah, do you see like where the other people are sitting? They're a little bit lower. That's more typical. But this because this judge is like, I want you right here. We need to get through this docket, and there are a million people. I don't want any issues as far as like you not being right next to me, so we can get through this. That's my guess. But here we go.
but not nearly as bizarre as what happened that very same day a few hours earlier. This is the arraignment of 20-year-old Spencer Allen Boston. At a traffic stop 2 months earlier, Boston received citations for speeding and simple possession of marijuana. As he walks up to the podium, Judge Haywood Barry's informed that Boston has a special request.
I spoke with Mr. Boston. He said he wants to represent himself in this case. I told him today was just an arraignment. It's either guilty, not guilty that day. To which he responded, I just want to plead my case to the court. So he didn't want to talk to me after that. So that's why he was started talking.
Sir, I think it's very unfair, the marijuana law here. I think we the people deserve better because marijuana is a very harmless drug and it's been around for ages, since the 80s and 90s.
I've heard that baloney all my life, so don't go any further on that.
Yes, sir.
I don't know whether it's good or bad. All I know is Tennessee still has it against the law. I swore to uphold the laws, and I have to uphold the laws as a judge. It probably is unfair, but I can't change it. You've got to go see the legislature to get that change. If you get it changed,
Judge Barry quickly returns to the matter at hand.
now, if you want to plead guilty, you can today.
Okay, I see why there's so many people in court, because this judge is just a sweetheart, and he's gonna tell every person that comes through that it's all right, just go to the legislature, you know, you come back and we'll get this taken care of from you, and I've heard this my whole life and I know it's a thing, and he's going to give everybody this type of a treatment instead of just next case, set over, next on the docket, set over. You know, he's just more of a, I don't know how you want to put it, but more military, I guess, or and I don't know. There's different judges have different ways of going about it. And, I kind of like this, but as you can see, there's a lot of people and, I don't know. It's just my guess, but I digress.
Oh, we can give you a trial on the officer's date, which is Officer Vincent.
Officer Vincent?
You want to fix trial date?
Yeah, we can do that.
That'd be fun. Then you make another speech.
As the judge works with court employees to schedule a trial date,
May 7th.
Boston decides to take action as he pulls out what appears to be a joint. No one seems to notice until, shockingly, he lights up, and this time it's noticed immediately.
Hey!
We the people deserve better.
Boston may have finally pleaded his case.
Hey! We the people deserve better.
Here's some more charges. The judge could say, charge him like the last judge did. And it's a slam dunk. Shut and sealed situation. I mean, it's we could expedite this right now, just circle him around back and we can sentence him right here. But it sounds like he was doing this for, as you can see, political. I think he wanted to make a political statement. He's not happy with this law, and he's kind of ahead of the time. It may seem, because most states around me it's legal. They can't sentence him right now because he has to go through the whole procedure of being charged, having being appointed counsel, having a right to defend himself, confront witnesses at a trial, and there'll be plea agreements. He'll have to go through this whole process, and then he'll be back right here. Okay, here we're at the Johnny Depp trial. We're going to be seeing a witness acting interestingly enough during his testimony.
I want to try to move along. So the incident was May 21st, 2016. You saw her the night of May 25th, correct?
Correct.
So snuck a little vaporizer in there. He is not at the courthouse, and I don't know if there's any rules against witnesses vaping during their testimony. I'd be surprised. And I don't think that Amber Heard's attorney has maybe mentioned anything to him that, hey, you shouldn't be doing that. So it's her witness, and if she doesn't stop him, I don't know if the judge is going to do anything about it.
You saw Amber Heard hundreds of times while she was there. Amber Heard treat you well, and was she friendly to you in each of these hundreds of times?
Yes.
Yes, I'm not going to say no because she was really always nice.
All right, this is my last.
Be nice.
All right, this is my last question. You testified in response to Mr. Presidio's questions that you.
So he just takes off, backs out. Now he's like just going to be driving around during his testimony. I don't know what he's doing, because why would he want to drive during this? Maybe he's got somewhere to go. Yeah, maybe not the best witness selection, and maybe not enough, prep for this witness saying, hey, you got to be in a room maybe with decent lighting and quiet. Don't sit next to the train station, and try not to vape. Yeah, so this guy's either making a statement, or he's got a problem, or he's just a busy guy, and he's like, I'm gonna cooperate because I have to, but I'm not gonna cooperate enough to lose my job. This could be like the best worker ever. That's my guess. This guy's just a stud. He's like, I got stuff to do. I mean, we're talking Mark Cuban. He's a busy guy. Money in the bank. Yeah. Don't sleep on a dollar. This guy doesn't. Okay. And our final culmination of smoking when you're probably not, or probably shouldn't be, is this video here.
Next, we're in District Court in Ann Arbor, Michigan.
Same judge.
36-year-old Anthony Lane is before Judge Cedric Simpson for a virtual conference. 6 months earlier, Lane was charged with 1 count of possessing methamphetamine or ecstasy and 1 count of possessing a narcotic, cocaine or heroin. Today, Lane is requesting to waive his right to a probable cause hearing and have his case sent straight to circuit court.
Mr. Lane, please state your name for the court.
Anthony.
So this might be like a community court or some kind of a court that is not. It's more built to handle a lot of cases. Sometimes it's called like a drug court, where this guy's charges are drug charges, and it's kind of like we're helping people out a little bit. We're trying to get through these cases in a way that is a lot of times ends up in service, community service, or counseling, or so there's these courts across the country that are. They're not super new, but they're created for kind of new age issues. Yeah, and so what they're saying is this could bump up to a court that is he doesn't want to participate in this level of court. He wants to go and just maybe have a trial.
Elaine, good morning, sir.
How you doing? A waiver for continued plea negotiations and resolution in circuit.
You understand you'll not have that hearing and you'll proceed to circuit court for further resolution? Yes, sir.
Everything seems to be going as planned until the judge asked the prosecutor if he also agrees to waive the probable cause hearing.
People also waive their right?
Your Honor, I'll agree to waive, but I do want to make a statement on the record. It appeared that earlier in this time block that Mr. Lane was rolling a blunt and might have been smoking.
Another defendant waiting for the judge did a double take when he noticed what Lane was up to.
No, dude, don't do that.
While recreational marijuana use is legal in Michigan, Lane is out on bond and strictly prohibited from taking any drugs or controlled substances. Lane looked cautiously out the vehicle's window, but paid no attention to the phone in front of him that was broadcasting what he was doing, not only on the internet, but directly to the court.
I think he knew. He must have known that his camera was on or that he was in this court hearing, but didn't think that anybody would be watching. Now, it's interesting because these courts are recorded and posted on YouTube. He might not have been too privy to that, but shoot, he should have known that somebody was going to be able to see this footage later. He seemed to be very apparent and very alert to people outside his vehicle or, while he was doing this, but not caring about the thousands and thousands and thousands of people who are going to be watching online. God forbid somebody walking their dog sees him smoking a joint. Yeah, but the court has got him on camera. This court is a court-imposed probation violation situation where he's not allowed to be smoking. It's illegal in the state, but he's not allowed personally because of these charges. And part of the they're called pretrial conditions is he needs to behave in a certain way, and then one of those things is no drugs, including marijuana. Let's watch the rest here. But impossible to tell, and that's maybe why he felt so comfortable. The thing is, when you see somebody rolling and you see somebody creating the blunt, that is going to be a giveaway for this not being a cigar.
Your Honor, given that information, I guess we need to adjourn the PCC so Mr. Lane and I can speak further before we wait.
Yeah. I think that might be wise. Mr. Lane, you understand what's happening now?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Part of his bond conditions, Lane is also supposed to be taking regular drug tests.
Oh.
When's the last time you tested?
2 weeks ago.
You were supposed to be testing 2 times per week.
I tested back to back.
He's smart. He's smart. Just the way they have the camera angled and everything, like, use that for the thumbnail.
Okay, but have you tested this week?
The eye roll.
No, sir.
I'm also going to order that you're to report to Community Corrections today for a test.
Your Honor, I have no ride today.
I
can't make it today. Know what that means.
Well, you better find somebody to get you a ride down here. I'm ordering a test. You're the one that brought this on yourself by what you did. So I'm ordering a test today.
Okay,
if you don't test today, I'm going to be issuing a warrant to have you picked up.
But as the judge moves on, Lane lingers on the call and lets out a laugh.
You keep laughing, Mr. Lane. I don't think you want to do that. Not with me. You better take yourself off before you think things are too funny. Thank you.
I wasn't laughing at you, sir. I wasn't laughing at you, sir.
Thank you. Court calls case, People versus Chandler Langston.
New case.
Lane never made it to Community Corrections that day, nor did he appear at his next conference. Judge Simpson issued a warrant for his arrest and revoked bond. His case remains open.
So he's smart, though. I mean, mathematically, if you got to take 2 tests per week and you get them back to back in 1 week, you technically work in compliance. And he's like, that next week, you do 2 more. I mean, you got a big period of time where you can do a little recreational activities. We're here in Brevard County, Florida, the Moore Justice Center, if you're inclined to know. And we're going to start here with our series of videos on lawyers getting attacked. And as a lawyer, I can say this is going to be painful to watch, but here we go.
Brevard County, Florida.
2 charges, assault and resisting. You have the
where public defender Andrew Weinstock and his client are appearing before Judge John Murphy, whose voice you hear.
Defender, what do you want to do?
Have they filed?
They have.
I'm not waiving.
All right. What do you want to do?
What do you want to do? I'm not waiving. You want to set it for trial? Set it for trial.
Judge Murphy wants the defendant to waive his right to a speedy trial because the court's schedule's backed up. Weinstock isn't budging, and tensions are mounting.
If I had a rock, I would throw it at you right now. It's pissing me off. Just sit down. I'll take care of it. I don't need your help.
No, you know what? I'm the public defender. I have a right to be here, and I have a right to stand and represent my clients.
If you want to fight, let's go out back, and I'll just beat your ass.
They both head to the hallway behind the courtroom, just out of the view of the court's cameras. Believe it or not, they get into a physical altercation. Judge Murphy returns to the courtroom alone.
Whoa.
I will catch my breath eventually. Man, I'm an old man.
Once Judge Murphy catches his breath, he continues with the rest of the hearings without Weinstock present.
What do we think about the judge UFC fighter? That's surprising, right? I mean, one of the officers did go out into the hallway, I believe, and the gentleman on the left, but what do we think? Because the jury, or not the jury, but the people in the pew loved it. I mean, they were like clapping it up. And are you speechless? Are you stunned by what you just saw? Wild, absolutely wild. Yeah, wasn't expecting that. So defense attorney, judge go into the hallway and there's a brawl. And I'm guessing that the reason why there's no there's no defense attorney is because the police probably arrested the defense attorney. And I don't know who was the primary aggressor in that one. Yeah, you can make that decision for yourself.
Your choices, considering there's probably going to be a changeover in personnel, are setting it for trial June 9th, or if you were wanting to waive speedy, we would set it for July 15th.
So now the judge is giving him a option to actually proceed to trial. Wow. What is this defendant going to do at this point?
I would like to get it done as fast as possible.
Oh, fast as possible.
That doesn't help me.
Doesn't help me.
The incident's investigated by the Florida Judicial Qualifications Commission, who charged Judge John Murphy with threatening to commit violence against an assistant public defender, engaging in a physical altercation with counsel, and resuming his docket while defendants were without counsel.
Oof.
The case eventually reaches the Florida Supreme Court, which orders the immediate suspension and permanent removal of Judge Murphy from his post. He resigns from the public defender's office.
We're having a lot of these Brevard County, Florida cases because it was one of the courtrooms where they allowed a lot of recording. Probably they don't allow recordings in every courtroom. And then also, you know, you're having to pick courtrooms that are actually, you think are going to create newsworthy content. But Brevard County, Florida, for whatever reason, had that combination. So this is the scary part in these situations, right? Is this guy's smiling, he's relaxed, he's cool. I mean, he's kind of doing some things, making some, you know, commotion. I'm guessing we're about to see something totally different from him.
Teal punches his own attorney. The guards immediately pounce on the 6'3" defendant and take him to the ground. Teal's attorney looks to be unhurt.
You know, not that big of a punch, really. I mean, he kind of went off to the side, but nonetheless, I mean, you know, he didn't really put his weight into it and you know, blast him like he could have. But what I'm trying to say is that's still devastating. It's still so offensive. And I'm this defense attorney, you know, like I said, I don't think he's very hurt, but you're just in court going, did that really just happen?
It takes 4 men to subdue Teal, and even then, he refuses to go quietly.
And the police officers are there, right there, all around him, knowing, I'm guessing, that this defendant could act up.
Chair, through the chair. A spit hood is placed over his head as officers return him to jail. Kirkland chooses not to press charges, but he does remove himself from the case. Nearly 2 weeks later,
let's just roll into
Teal
this one too. What do you
returns to
think?
the courtroom.
New counsel has been appointed since the last hearing.
This time strapped to a rolling chair.
New counsel
His biggest concern is how his hair looked in his mugshot.
I got one question, one thing to say. I'd like to know where the they got that photo of me with my short hair. Because that was on Facebook, and I don't have a Facebook.
All right.
That's a mugshot?
Legitimate question.
Yeah, so this is where we get into some of the mental side of it, you know.
The
where,
judge schedules another hearing in a week's time.
Yeah.
And the trial has yet to begin.
And here's the video of the defendant launching over the judge's bench there to come and get the judge.
Mr. Redden, is there anything you want to say on your own behalf before I pronounce sentence?
You know, I'm not out there committing crimes now, you know, and I feel like I should be given a shot.
I appreciate that, but I think it's time that you get a taste of something else because I just can't with that history. In accordance with the laws of the state of Nevada.
See, and once again, you can just see how fast it changes. Because it's not always defendants. Sometimes it's people in the stands and the pews who are just there and are having a really stressful time. I mean, it's a tense environment, unfortunately, to be in a courthouse. You know, these people are going through hard times. They have to go to courthouses. Attorneys have to work with it, and that's why attorneys are, you know, it's not a dangerous job, but you have to be vigilant, just like you do in a lot of different jobs. You know, you can have a road rage situation when you're just driving an Uber. I mean, it just anytime you just really have to be careful. And, you know, mental illness is such a prevalent issue in our country and probably every country at this point. But, you know, what can happen? And, you know, this is just one instance of that. And does it happen all the time? And is it always mentally? No, and it's not always that. It can be anybody can show up to the courthouse and have a bad day and it turns into a horrible day. And so you just want to be very, very vigilant of that. Okay, and because you guys stuck around for the whole video, you get a special treat. Up, up. Ooh, what's that? Ooh, did you bite it? Say something. Going back. Uh-oh, we're going back. Okay, come here. And if you want to see more True Crime with Lawyer Cliff, go ahead and click the video right there.